This video will guide you through the basic steps of setting up the LiteMaster Pro L-478 series in HD Cine and Cine Mode. First, we'll look at the HD Cine Mode. In HD Cine Mode, lighting and exposures will be measured using ISO, shutter speed, and frames per second to get the correct aperture value. To select the desired measuring mode, touch the measuring mode icon on the measuring screen. Touch the HD Cine Mode icon to select HD Cine Mode. To set the frame rate, touch the FS icon to enlarge the selection window. FS stands for frames per second. Touch the up and down arrows or slide your finger over the icon to display the frame rate you want. In the United States, 24 frames per second is a standard rate for projected movies. 30 frames per second are normally used when shooting movies for TV viewing. In Europe and other countries, 25 frames per second is a standard for both movies and TV. Next, set the shutter speed. The T icon is the shutter speed. It stands for time. The shutter speed controls the amount of time light will enter the camera. Touch the up and down arrows or slide your finger over the icon to display the shutter speed value you want. When you're capturing motion, you can't use a shutter speed lower than the frame rate you've selected. If you try to, the meter will not allow it. You can always select higher speeds for special effects. The L-478 series also has a special set of shutter speeds for the latest digital video cameras. To use them, just scroll beyond 1/64,000th of a second. Next, touch the ISO icon to enlarge the ISO selection window. Then use the up and down arrow key or slide your finger over the icon to display the ISO value you want. Once you have the frame rate, shutter speed, and ISO, you're ready to take your first measurement. Press the measuring button to meter the light and display the aperture or f-stop. If you hold in the measuring button, the meter will continue to measure the light. This is very helpful when determining the evenness or fall off of light. If you're shooting with a high-end motion picture camera that uses frame rates and shutter angles, select Cine Mode. Select the Cine Mode icon in the measuring mode selection screen. The display will automatically return to the main measuring screen to start metering in Cine Mode. Use the up or down arrows to select the frame rate you want. Next, select the desired ANG, which stands for shutter angle. Then use the up and down arrow keys to scroll to the shutter angle you want. Selecting a higher shutter angle number is like using a slower shutter speed. A lower number is like using a higher shutter speed. To set the ISO sensitivity, touch the ISO icon. This will enlarge the selection window. Then use the up and down arrows to scroll to the ISO you want. Once you have the frame rate, shutter angle, and ISO, you're ready to take your first measurement. Press the measuring button and read f-stop or aperture value necessary to make a good exposure. Just like in HD Cine Mode, holding the measure button in will activate continuous metering of the light. To learn more about other features and functions that the LiteMaster Pro L-478 series has to offer, watch the next video in the Quickstart series.